Good evening. I think it's about time we do a walkthrough video. So I'm going to start here at the front door and put in just a um, simple post design issue. We'll do a fill through here, and as we go through this, one of the things I'd like to do is talk to you a little bit about how we're going to deal with this driveway. So if I come up to a bird's eye view and we take a look. The background I have is blue skies with some sort of background that looks like our area. But this is the road out front. And then as I come up this, I'm coming right up through the drainage. So we probably want to put some sort of a drain run through here. And then when I come up around the edge, what I would think is that we're going to have a fill in here. This will probably rise a little higher. We'll level out down through here so that we're not quite up so high up at this top portion. We'll come across at the same level here, which means I'll need a retaining through here. And I could straighten the road up through here if you'd like. But that's something we can kind of discuss through. I just kind of wanted to show you what this path is looking like and how it feels. And then once we have a determined path, then I'll round out the corners and that sort of stuff. But at any rate, this is kind of what it looks like going up the other direction. You can kind of see the house on our left here. I'll turn my head a little bit as we're coming around. Now we would stay down low once I do a terrain cut. So it would actually just kind of pop right through there like I just did that. So this is just a matter of I just laid the road in. I don't want to do terrain cuts until I've got answers from you guys as to where and how you would like this to look and lay out. So once I start doing the terrain cuts, there is one on the bottom down below. I did take care of the terrain down here to a certain extent just to give myself a flat area so that now I could put the patio in at the proper height. Siding, when we get to this, it'll come down and we'll have full siding along and through here. So don't worry, it won't look like a bunch of block. But for right now, until we've discussed how we're going to fill this out, which there's some notes in OneNote about the ICF. If we're going to stick frame this, we should discuss that and determine what we're going to do. I know you guys wanted to turn this door into something else. I don't know if you want that to be a roll-up or what you're thinking. So let me know there. I'm guessing that there won't be any exterior access to this deck. So if there is going to be some stairs to get up there, please let me know. As far as the roof goes, I also explained that in OneNote that I'll turn off automatic roofs when we get close to where this is working, and then I'll straighten this out so it won't look funny like that. And then I'm thinking that I'll put a low pitch shed roof out to at least this area here to pitch out. If you want it to cover the whole deck, please let me know. And then as we come up and around the house, we'll get our fill in for what we need here. We're in pretty good shape. We're not too far out of grade. And with what we're digging out of the basement, we should end up with plenty of material. And then I've got this drive pad laid in, and I haven't, once we get the discussion on how the road works, then I'll flatten this one out as well. So the sidewalk will actually be up at this level and then come over and connect it in. So for right now, it's just down low. But once we get the grade and terrain working out, let me know what you think about that. I put in OneNote that it'd be nice to put like a belly band across here to kind of break up this mass. It's just a lot of monotone color. And then wanted to kind of get your thoughts on, now that I've added the shutters, does this work for you as far as the way that this looks? And I could also put lights in this one. If we do a single piece, so it has this prairie going all the way across the whole front of the house. That'd probably look nice. So consider that. We could also do a top cut on these two side lights so that it's just consistent all the way around as we go on and through. Then I wanted to get some answers from you on if you want to vault this area or if you'd like it to remain flat. And if we were doing bonus dresses, I would probably, well, if you go either way, it wouldn't matter much because this is pretty low area over here. So if you want this to be open and through, let me know, and I will simply change the way that this works. I could actually probably show that to you fairly quickly. Let me do it over on the other screen. If I take this and turn it to not flat, we'll see if it does it correctly on the first shot. There we go. So if it wasn't, if we did a vault in that, then this is what it would look like with that vault. And of course we put a beam across there, that kind of thing. So let's go on inside. So when we come in, I gotta still work on the door and stuff to get this trim straightened out, but that's not a big issue. We've got our vault, and I've got a chandelier up there. We've got our stairs down to the basement. Started finishing out some of the walls down in there. This is where we were talking about doing the wainscoting. So please let me know if anything's changed there. And then this will be where the chairlift goes. And then this is your piece of furniture with the mirror that would go above. I use the automatic feature for letting it put outlets in. So it sees this, which is a cabinet, and it just simply installed an automatic outlet up there. I'm going to leave it there because it reminds me to, hey, just move it down to the other level and then it'd be fine. But know that those kind of things will straighten out as we get more and more into how the electrical is actually going to work. So this is his dad's room, and let's consider whether or not we're going to put a ceiling fan in this room as well. I did put shutters or blinds, sorry, vertical blinds on all of the rooms, all the main windows. I might have them still in some shower windows. I'll get them out of there, but yeah, like this one still has one. They won't have any vertical blinds in the showers that I'm done. But I've got the grab bars on both sides of this wall. I'm not sure. It looks like I put the wrong material there on that door handle. I just turned at least to aluminum, but we'll get something. I'm not even sure what it put on there for a material. Very strange looking material. Let me go in here and grab this and just fix that while I'm here. And oh, that just changed the color. My in component mode. I'll have to go through. That'll remind me to do it. 2 different colors now. But outside the door, I put a towel hook, and then there's a bar on this side for drying. If we want to start considering colors and how you want to treat all these colors, these are all the oil rub bronze, and so we can come through and we can turn them all into a brushed nickel or whatever you're thinking in this type bedroom where we're looking at. I've got oil rub bronze here. I want to talk to you about what style of doors you'd like to have as well. Don't know if you want to have this kind of arch, if you want it to be square, if you want it a slab, if you have what kind of panel. So if you can even shoot over a picture or two of doors that you guys really like, then I will copy those throughout. And these I turn into slabs. So these are those 0 clear doors. I've got a accessibility bar here too as well. And then I've got a 3 gang of switches, so one for the closet, one for the fan over the toilet, and then one for the lights over the vanity. Then light for the bedroom. We could probably dual switch this so that he can turn it. I don't know if you want to turn it off while he's in the bathroom, but let me know if you want to have that kind of 3-way switch going on there. And then I will get hallway switches and that sort of stuff. So he's got immediate access out here, but I haven't done much of the electrical in the great room and the entry yet. Just some lighting. Um, but we have I put in just a beige carpet. You said you wanted something solid and the red was distracting. So I know also that you don't like this color back here. I just need to know if we're going to do an accent wall. So it's kind of there as a reminder until you give me an answer on that one. Um, Also, if we have any thoughts on door colors, I'll probably narrow up the trim on the interior so that these are 2 1/4, 3 1/4, something of that nature. It should look more along the line of this here as far as the trim size goes. Looks like I need to, that's a pretty tightly trimmed door, but it works. So, but we kind of wanted to maximize what we were doing inside this room. So here, got your cabinetry starting to work out. I still haven't done too much to this yet, but I'll go through that, look at your notes and stuff, and get that entertainment center looking more like you want it. This one does have a ceiling fan. And then you'd mentioned something about possibly centering the entertainment center. Just consider that if I do that and this turns into a little tiny nook, it's not going to be able to. You can see right now, whoops, went too high. Can I cozy the chair back into that? But if it gets into just a little tiny narrow piece by centering this more, and I don't know that it helps with the room layout, but if you want that moved over, because it's bothering you that this is not, it's centered from here to here, but if you want it centered on this wall, I guess I just need some clarification on exactly what you'd like me to do there. I did get rid of the header on here. I've got this thickened wall on this side. On this side, I left the wall in there, so that's why it's got a square edge, but it will have this rounded edge if you tell me that you like this thickened one. If you don't, I simply delete this piece and it'll leave just this narrower wall. I put in the irregular shaped slab, and we can work on the color of that. So that not really thrilled with the green and the purplish colors together, even though those are complementary colors. They're not looking like they cohesively work with this room. So we'll work on the colors there, but mainly just concerned about layout. Yes, I did get your dresser. It's the right size. Drawer count was about as close as I could find. Now, when we come in here, my biggest challenge in here has been electrical. I've got a switch there, and I need to get the light up in the ceiling there. Actually, there is a light in the ceiling. It's just up above the box, so I just got to lower it. So that switch runs that light. This switch runs the lights that are up here in the ceiling, the 4 lights. So I need switches for these if they're going to be independent. We could turn them both on at once if we're running out of space. And then I'd let the auto layout so it's still put in some outlets in here. And I have a feeling that you're not going to want those in the backsplash. So I can quickly get rid of those. You mentioned you did want this one. You didn't tell me to take the ones out of this drawer, so there's still the ones in the drawer. And if you didn't quite understand that, if I come, went too fast. If I come into this drawer, you can see it back out slow. They're in the back of the drawer. So the drawer would have to be a little bit short in order to accommodate that, and then we have to wrap that wire to make sure that as it goes in and out, that it doesn't fray and become a fire issue. So this is a 2-panel door versus this door here. And then we can come in and take a look in the master. I've got double hanging about everywhere. This whole side over here has high hanging, and then 3 sets of shelves. And then I've got one shelf here, double hanging, and then the tall hanging with 3 sets of shelves again on this side. I brought the wall out as requested, switched the door back, so maybe the light switch could go inside there, but I think I just barely had enough space that I could fit it on that wall. So if you want, we can turn this to run the vanity lights and put the light switch for the closet just inside the closet. So that's one option. We've got to figure out the electrical in here because we just don't have a lot of wall space left over. I moved the outlet behind this towering as requested. And we'll come on out and take a look around the dining. Got our door out to our deck. This will be not hanging down like that. We'll have more cover in here, and then we'll start doing some sun studies and stuff to take a look. And we can also put some photographs from your property out there and get a couple shots to show you what we're looking at off in the distance. And this would look like looking through and into the inside. This is your operating window. Just open a little bit. And then once we're in the dining room, we have, oh, I got to change this. I haven't done that yet. You want to make this countertop over here. You want to use the same one on this side. Man, it's bright in here. And my shadows are on. It's just getting washed out. I don't like it when it washes out like that. But I've got a lot of white going on. I also have 2 different types. I've got this one with a thickened vein on here, and then I had, maybe they're gone now. I had a granulated top in here at one point. Oh, here it is. Or I have this more of a granite looking top. So what kind of material are you preferring? Because I know you didn't like the smaller spidery vein. And then this is your walk-through pantry. So if I highlight it and then open it, I have to make special doors for this, and then be able to walk in, come through, take a look around, and there's quite a bit of shelf in here. Of course, these are 9-foot ceilings, so there's a lot of shelf in here. And come on out, and down the hall, we've got our powder room here. Obviously, don't need to have an 18-inch backsplash there. I've got to get some more detail in there, but that's basically what it looks like. Here, I did go ahead and I put the alabaster throughout. Do you want to do the same cabinetry color as the kitchen in here as well? And then I can change out the door color. Put a vertical blind here, just kind of to help match everything. Not sure why I've got a label going on there, but I do. That's just a layer thing. I'll have to figure out which layer that is and turn it off. But it's probably like a window label or something of that nature. Blinds and curtains. Window labels is off. Not sure what's causing that. I want to turn off the blinds. Well, I got rid of the number or the label. I'll figure that out. But I'll turn it back on for now, and then I'll come through and figure that out. So let's get this turned off so we got a bigger picture. Then we have the main garage. This will put doors all along here for that storage area. So inside here, we have this storage room. So just got to figure out how you want to do the doors for the storage room, if it's what you want. I did recenter the lights accordingly, as if this was the way it is to be. I've got the plaster done in the garage too. I left one smooth wall to remind me that if you want this to just be drywall unfinished, that'll remind me to go through and make sure that's the truth. And we should think about what kind of paint, because I recommend that you do a high gloss in the garage and shop just to keep it easier to clean. And then so we've got our door there, the man door there, second man door here, and then come back in. I made the changes, got rid of the hall tree, put in just a simple closet. This does have 3 sets of shelves. They get up in there so high, they're almost useless. So think about that, how we should deal with that, how you'd like to work with that. If you want that last shelf up there, if you want taller doors, if you'd like access through here, if you're looking for additional storage, however you'd like to deal with that. And then we've got the washer and dryer, your sink, and then your little tiny office. Got this filing cabinet back in the corner there. Got a small L-shaped desk, laptop, and an armless chair. Come on through, back out, and I think that concludes our house tour. Yeah, we went into Dad's room. So I have gone through it all the way now. Just that is where I'm at. So wanted to take you on a quick tour, show you around, see how things are looking, and get your feedback. So I will post this to the web, and let's get your comments on how we're looking and where we're going next. And we can also start considering how we're going to do this layout down here. I just put in some windows. I do have a set of walls here. When we consider how the rooms are going to be, note that we have, if there's going to be any bedrooms, they have to have egress windows. So I have to have either a window on the side that I can get out, or on the front that I can get out. It has to be directly to the outside. So this is where you wanted to have this vehicle storage for the ATV. So that corner we can't have as a room. I can't put bedrooms way back here, because when we come up, I'm going to just kind of fly through. When we come up, we are right under here. And there's just, I could do it right here. I could put in a window well, and we could do a bedroom at the back of this wall here. So we could do one back here. It wouldn't be a very nice room, but I could make it legal. We just have to get stairs out, up through an exit, and just not the safest of things. Consider that a fire escape egress window is designed so the fire department knows it's a bedroom. It's designed for them to come in, not for you to get out. That's the design of it. Of course, you're supposed to get out too, but that is what we're looking at. And just to come out and take a nice high up look at this section of the property that'll have modeled out. That is kind of what we're looking at for layout. So we'll talk to you soon. This is Mark with Square Design.